National Security Advisor Susan Rice, infamous for her Sunday talk show statements on Benghazi, might have cemented that reputation with her latest Sunday show comment on just-released Sergeant Bergdahl with this.
He served the United States with honor and distinction, and we'll have the opportunity eventually to learn what has transpired in the past years. But what's most important now is his health and well-being.
Peter Johnson Jr. is here on the latest White House claims. This is a guy who many people are saying collaborating with terrorists.
Well, that's the testimony that we're hearing, and the military will make a decision once he's back whether, in fact, he was AWOL or was a deserter. But can Susan Rice ever tell the truth on a Sunday to the American people? It appears not. Every indicia we have indicates that perhaps he did not serve with honor and distinction. And when we have Steve Doocy and you folks interviewing the parents of soldiers who've been lost in the pursuit for a man who may have intentionally left the base in Afghanistan, we wonder what's happening. There's two narratives that are going on now at this point. The president feels that he now must wrap himself in the flag and say, no American shall be left behind. But that's not our experience with this White House. We have to look at the Benghazi incident. Let's look at the Benghazi 4, those brave Americans who died and who were left for dead on that fateful day without any American support whatsoever. We have to look at the veteran Marine languishing in a prison in Mexico. Has he been left behind without any support whatsoever? So we have this meme, we're not going to leave an American behind, and at the same time, no, we will not negotiate with terrorists. Well, we just negotiated with terrorists. We do regularly leave Americans behind, and the best example of leaving Americans behind is the administration's shameful and despicable treatment of the American veteran. This is one representation of the American veteran. This silhouette, this image, this symbol that we will now show you. She represents all of the American veterans who've been left behind for so long, and it's been chronicled by Congress and even by the VA itself. So to say that we're not going to leave Americans behind, that we're going to negotiate with terrorists, we know that this administration regularly violates both precepts. And in this particular case, we have to wonder, how did they choose this particular event to come to Jesus, as it were, in terms of understanding the depth of our love for our soldiers and our veterans, and then to say that this soldier served with honor and distinction. If that's true, then we'll know that over time. But the evidence that's coming forward at this point says the opposite. And what have we lost and what have we gained? I think we understand in this country that sometimes the American interest is greater than any Americans' interest. And we also understand, and I think unfortunately our troops are beginning to understand, that when a president stands in the Rose Garden on a Saturday at the White House and stands with a person, the father of Sergeant Bergdahl, who may have engaged in statements that are absolutely antithetical and inimical to our interests as American, what does that mean? What signal does that send to our enemies? And more importantly, what signal does it send to our soldiers who are serving so loyally and faithfully? This is a disturbing day. They screwed this up. This is whacked out. Tell the truth. Tell the truth, Susan Rice, as to what happened. Tell the truth.
You're asking a lot of great questions, and hopefully we'll find out some answers this week.
I hope so.
Thank you so much. Peter Johnson Jr., always good to see you.
Good to see you.
More Fox and Friends just moments away.